What's good, 99 Dreamers? We back at it, episode 14 of the 99 Dream podcast. My name is Julian Taliaferro. You already know we coming again with another weekly business update, lessons for the week, and then topic for the day, which is ambition, right? So we'll talk through it throughout this episode, but the topic is ambition. And to get started, the quote for this week is macro thought gives micro understanding. This is actually a quote by me, but it actually just means that when you look at a situation, a problem, or like a circumstance in an overall lens, in a general perspective, then allows you to dive deep, really look at the caveats of that situation, look at the details, and really plan your next steps based off of that, right? So that's the quote. Macro thought gives micro understanding. And yeah, but now we can kind of roll over and start with our business update. So, not gonna lie, for e-commerce, not too many action steps completed. I was able to do some small things, but finals was kind of crazy this weekend. Finished on, Friday. But, although I wasn't able to do as many action steps as I would have liked, in this business, I still was able to learn every single day about e-commerce, still gain that knowledge, which I feel is important because, knowledge is the basis for everything. And it'll allow me to plan my action steps based on the information that, I've acquired, right? So that's very important. And I did come to some realizations throughout this week. However, in my podcast, at least, and this is where I need to be posting on my podcast page at least twice a week, on my Instagram podcast page at least twice a week, really build up my activity on that front. So when I actually post on Instagram, if you link your pages, you can actually link your Instagram and your Facebook page together, right? So you don't need to post on both platforms, but you can post on Instagram and from there it'll post on Facebook automatically. So I ended up linking all of my pages to do this function. And this is a benefit because it saves time, right? It streamlines the process and you're not wasting so much time, typing up all these hashtags for every post and posting on both platforms. So, that's kind of my business update, pretty short, but I'm going to get rolling this next week and I'll talk about that later in my next steps. But to get started in my lessons of the week, first one is from a book that I'm actually reading right now, which is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a staple book, for anybody who's trying to develop themselves personally. But one of the takeaways that I took from it is when you have a definite goal, right? One that you identified, you need to read it twice a day, in the morning and night, and really get it ingrained in your head. And you're basically manifesting that goal to fruition, right? You're manifesting it to happen, right? So that's the biggest takeaway. So I've already started, doing this step where each and every morning and night, or at least twice a day, whether it's in the morning or it's not, at least twice a day, I'm reading my definite goal and, I'm fully believing it and knowing that it's going to happen, right? And it's a sort of manifestation. But what I took from this, which kind of goes into my second lesson for the week, is my definite goal isn't in terms of e-commerce, right? My definite goal is bigger than e-commerce. So that's not going to say that I'm going to push e-commerce to the side, but it's that I look at e-commerce as a stepping stone. I look at it as an entryway into entrepreneurship. I look at it as a chance, an opportunity for me to learn about business principles, for me to learn about entrepreneurship at its basis. And from there, I can apply what I learn now into any of my future endeavors. So what's interesting is that my long-term goal isn't something that, I'm working on every day, but I know that I'm going to have to become an expert in that field in order to be successful, right? So how do I mix my long-term goal with my short-term goal? What does that mean? Does that mean that like tomorrow I need to start dedicating at least minimum 10 minutes, every day to learning about my longer term goal, my definite goal? Is that what that means? Or, how do I really mix these things together? Because I still want to be 100% in e-commerce because that's the only way that I could get this business up off the ground and successful as well, right? So, and that's the last thing I need. I don't want to have conflicting, priorities in terms of my long-term goal, my short-term goal, when in reality, e-commerce, although it's shorter term in my life, it's the number one priority at this point, right? To building and to being successful. So that's something I've been thinking about. I don't really know if it's a lesson, but is kind of about how do you mix different interests, right? And knowing that me personally, my definite goal is bigger than e-commerce. So how do I find time for that now that's going to set me up in the future for that situation, right? For that business, for that endeavor. So that's something I'm thinking about. And then my third lesson for the week, like I said, I'm not sure this is a lesson either, but it's more so a challenge, right? It's a challenge for me to really improve my interpersonal connections, me improving my communication skills, my conversation skills, and learn how to build relationships, right? That's something that is a little bit different, not different, but something that I haven't really been focused on throughout my life. As I'm building and becoming an entrepreneur, that's something that I know I need to focus on, right? Building relationships, developing connections, but more than just a connection, but connections that have a personal touch, right? So that's one of my challenges to myself. And it's not something that's just going to come now and then leave later. This is a lifelong type of challenge, right? Something that I can only get better at. Even if I become really good at it, you can still get better. So that's kind of my three things for my lessons of the week. And, they're kind of, all over the place a little bit, but, that's kind of what I've been thinking about. But now we can kind of get into my topic, right? Which is ambition. And, I think the pivotal trait to have is ambition, right? So for anybody who wants more out of their life, for anybody who, is looking for something more, you have ambition. That's at the basis of what ambition is. It's to want more. It doesn't have to be, in a business sense. It doesn't have to be, in entrepreneurship. It can be in your personal life. It can be, in school. It can be, you trying to build yourself, right? Your own development. But ambition at its basis is just wanting more. So, me personally, that was a big key in me deciding to be an entrepreneur. So I looked at my life, my current state now, then I kind of looked at my future projection on where I would be in a couple years if I just continued down my path. And I realized it wasn't enough for me. I knew that I wanted more and I knew that I could achieve more. I had a potential to do more. So I ended up changing my path to being able to have a chance to do more, right? And take those steps each and every day to build something more. But how do you get from ambition to success? There's certain steps that are between that, right? So I'll line that out right now. And that's first, you want to have ambition, right? So you have ambition, and that ambition leads you to a dream, right? That dream is a vision, it's a goal, and that leads you to manifestation. So you manifest this dream every day, you manifest this goal every day. And from there, that manifestation leads to a desire, to a strong desire, and then to an obsession. And from there, when that's all you think about 24/7, then you're going to have to put plans in place in order to make your dreams physical, right? If you really are obsessed with something, it's going to force you to make plans to be successful. It's going to force you to think, what are the next steps? What do you do today that's going to lead you to your dream? That's going to lead you to your goal, right? So that's kind of the steps. Ambition to dream to manifestation, manifestation to a desire, desire to an obsession. And then in that desire and obsession stage, you'll be making plans to achieve your dreams and make them physical, right? So that's kind of like the steps in the process. And then when I look at myself, where am I at on that process list? Like, what step am I on? I'm on manifestation. So I have my dream, right? But now it's about me making my dream an obsession. So I'm at the point where it's a really strong desire. So I think about it all day. That's all I think about. How do I become successful? What do I do now to make myself become successful later on? What am I going to be successful in? There's all the types of questions throughout my head every single day. Even when I go to bed and I sleep, my subconscious is trained to where I'm dreaming about success, right? I'm dreaming about my dreams, and it's a all day thing, right? And I'm becoming more and more entrenched in my dream, right? And it's slowly but surely becoming more and more of an obsession. And it's for me, it's a positive thing, right? I don't look at obsession as a negative thing. That term usually is connotated and correlated with negative things, but for me, working on my business makes me happy. Being an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is something that I enjoy. Learning is something that, I like a lot. I love learning, right? So it's something that's natural for me. And I don't think of it as a negative thing. It's positive, right? I'm directing my energy into a positive space, into a positive form. And, manifestation isn't something that's going to stop, right? Even if I become obsessed with the idea, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop manifesting. Manifestation is a crucial thing that needs to continue to happen throughout your life, throughout your journey, and your dreams or your plans may change, right? Your vision may change. So from there, your manifestation statement, your manifestations themselves may change. So, that's kind of where I'm at, and what did Wale say? He said they gonna love me for my ambition. So, they gonna love me for my ambition. My ambition is what's gonna allow me to build a successful podcast, build this 99 Dream community, build a successful e-commerce company, and then to take that, use all my experiences, and then build an even bigger company that's aligned with my definite goal. So, that's what I've been thinking about, and you have to keep this ambition. You don't want to get halfway down the path and then lose your ambition and then not want more, anymore. That may be okay, but it depends on what you're really trying to achieve, so that's just like what I said, what I've been thinking about. And ambition is key. It's pivotal to transformation. To It should be one of those things that make you become an entrepreneur, right? Like it was for me. So yeah, so next steps for me are just, hitting the ground running. So today I started reaching out to manufacturers for my product. I will be going home in the next couple of days for a Christmas break. So I have to listen to my own advice from my past episodes, which is just about, having a structure when I go home, because I don't have one. So I have to be very intentional about my time, be intentional about making a schedule. And from there, I can be efficient and get things done. So that's kind of what, where I'm at. So let's go and let's get it, y'all. Go and achieve your 99 dream. And it's 99 dream because you are going to achieve your dream. And it would be 100%, but nobody's perfect. So you're going to achieve 99% of that. And let's go and let's get it.